Yeah, hi everybody. This is Rodney Spencer. Earl NC decided to come down from Michigan, and since he worked in Washington, thinks he can kidnap me. But I was 16 years. I was in Special Forces. So some of my information came to him back then. Then my last 7 years, I was a military police officer, and because of all that job, I ended up with two things y'all understand: fibromyalgia and sciatica, which if you have those and know somebody that does, you know the amount of pain they go through. I also ended up with another disease. It's called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. Now they call it Cripes chronic regional pain syndrome because they couldn't find a cure for it. So then they threw it over to pain doctors. So I stay on morphine, fentanyl patch, and trazodone, all my pain meds, and I'm also on muscle relaxers and antidepressant medicines and stuff. But yeah, because of that, even like my face looking at you, you'll see it droops and stuff. And I went from 279 pounds to 155 pounds, because I just don't eat half the time. But that's a little bit about me, and I'm really sorry I didn't make it to the 40th class reunion. One, I didn't know about it, but that was probably my fault because I moved around a lot in the military. And two, probably wouldn't have made it anyway with my health unless Earl would have sent that big cargo plane he took a picture of there and picked me up. But, so, yeah, either way, but I would have liked to have come if I'd probably known about it. I'd have a friend of mine driving me up, and so I hadn't been to one in a while, but I'm sorry I missed y'all. Anytime you want to write, my address is Rodney Spencer, P.O. Box 35, Earl, E-A-R-L, we know how that name spells, North Carolina, 28038. And my phone number is 704 476 5152. You're free to call anytime because I don't get a lot of sleep in because of my pain, and then sometimes I doze off in the middle of the daytime. Earl can tell you about that, but yeah, he had to take over driving one time, and it just happens. I don't know when it's going to happen. All of a sudden, I can be all right, and the next minute be in pain, and the pain's so strong, I just pass out. I go to sleep, and so yeah, I spend a lot of time in bed, unfortunately, and don't have any friends anymore, like I wrote on the internet before. But and that was, it's really nice that Earl come down to visit me because I'm not used to having somebody in the house, first of all, and but it's just nice that he would do that and go out of his way. And I know some of you responded to that on the internet already. And Tom Story, I hope you're everything's all right after that accident. And yeah, Earl will talk to you about it when he gets down there, and then he can let me know. But yeah, anybody, you're free to write, free to call. If some of you got pictures from the class reunion, and if you'd like to make a copy of them for me and send me copies, I'd appreciate that. At least I could have it in picture form and know a little bit about who went. Earl's already sent me the packet of listing all the class people and what they were doing, and then those that had passed away and so on. So I got all that. But yeah, if any of you got some pictures from the class reunion, I'd really appreciate it if you'd make copies for me, and that way I'm going to try to get to the 45th one. And so anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all, and any questions or anything, just write me or call. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask a couple questions of Rodney while we're here. Now, Rodney, tell us about this woman you're living with, Snowball. Yeah, what's the deal with Snowball?
Well, first of all, Snowball falls under top secret information, so you can't even call me, ask that kind of information, because you know better than that.
But she's a rescue dog that you've taken in.
She was a rescue dog, and then after they helped her, she was at animal control. So yeah, I took her in a service dog, and yeah, very next day it's like we just clicked, and she kisses me and paws on me, and we play together. But most of the time we're in the bed, so it makes it nice because I don't get out of the bed a lot anymore, and it's getting worse. And so she's just right there for me. She lays when I'm hurting. She licks me, and yeah, and she's a color Snowball because all over this apartment she sheds a lot because she's a Alaskan Terrier, so she's got 2 layers of fur. And when I'm getting their fur up, it's just a big old ball. It looks like a snowball. So
Yeah. So now this dog of yours, she and you have developed a very close bond, and you both love each other and support each other. Is that right?
oh yeah, and she follows me everywhere I go. If I'm going out of the bedroom, she'll want to go with me. In the bathroom, she'll want to go. She doesn't leave my side because sometimes I've passed out and fell and not woke up for 7, 8 hours, but she'd be laying right there and waiting for her owner to wake up. But yeah, she's an amazing dog.
Yeah. Now, in your apartment here, you've got it just chock full of things that you've collected from your military time, and from all of your going to the flea markets and all that. So tell us about some of your military adventures and these military collectibles and such that you've accumulated.
Well, the most important one that I have here in the living room is it's got it's concrete. It's a statue of how we used to bury our soldiers out overseas, and it has the boots, and then the weapon in the boots, and the Kevlar top. Then behind that, I got like a tree and a couple of pillars, and then I got 5 flags in there, the 5 guys I lost. So that's kind of my memorial to them, because one, they made the ultimate sacrifice. They gave their lives, their wives, or their grandmothers or kids lost a dad, and yeah, I'm still here, so I can be happy of that. But sometimes I wish I was where they were and they could be here with their family. But yeah, and so because I kind of sit around a lot, I live right next to a flea market, and I won't drive out. I mean, I won't walk. I'll drive over there, and a lot of the vendors know what I collect, like swords and military stuff and stamps and ball cards. I collect a little bit of everything, and that's kind of my way of fulfilling my life. And even if I don't sell it all, as Earl says, I need, well, like since he's been here, I bought $300 and something today of stuff, and yesterday a couple of hundred from, but I buy them from people out there that already got the stuff in the car for me because they know what I look for, like Walt Disney characters. And yeah, you'd be amazed to just look at my apartment. And then since I'm 25% Cherokee, I've got old Indian pottery from the Navajos, the Cherokees, and the Blackfoot that are all in cases. I got cases around in the room with collectible stuff in each one. And so yeah, and then military-wise, I collect swords and canteens. I got canteens from World War II, and so yeah, I'm not hoarding. Some people, they hoard and newspapers and stuff all over their house. That's not what I'm doing. What I buy actually will go up in value. It's collectible, and if whenever the Lord decides to take me, my brother will get it. And I know sometimes on the internet I've scared some people, and I didn't mean to do that. I will not kill myself because I don't believe in suicide, and I don't believe I'd go to heaven if I did it. That's God's choice. But I want you to know I won't do that, but sometimes when I write, I feel like it, because that's what my body feels like. I already know, like my left knee already, from just above the knee down, it's already gone. I can sit there and scratch it, not feel it, make it bleed, and then it's going up that leg, and then eventually it goes to both legs, both arms, to where I'll have no use and be in a wheelchair, and then it'll go up my esophagus, up into my brain, and destroy that. And I already know the outcome of the RSD, and I already know that there's no cures, so sometimes that depresses me, especially when you're sitting in a house alone. You know, the phone's not ringing, nobody's knocking at the door, and yeah, I know I got Snowball. You know, I hug her, I kiss her, she's loving, she's caring, she's kind. Sometimes I wish I could find a woman like that, but it ain't gonna happen.
Now,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now, Rodney, you mentioned that you're on full retirement from the United States Army, and you're on 100% disability from Social Security, and you've got very good medical insurance based on your military service and all. But as you say, you still have needs that aren't being met. So what can our fellow classmates do? You mentioned your address and such. I'm sure that just getting mail, cards and letters and notes and such, would really help your spirits. Is there anything else that we can do, to keep in touch and to support you, being that we are hundreds of miles away?
Well, first of all, you're right. The cards, letters, and even phone calls, those are encouragements to me. The cards, yeah, I can send them up on my bed or start taping them to the wall, and then when I'm feeling down, I can look there and say, yeah, I do have friends. They may not be right here, but they care enough to write. They care enough to call. To me, people's actions speak louder than words, as the old saying says. And so, as in anything else, I mean, financially, I'm taking care, and money doesn't mean nothing to me. I think that's one of the reasons the extra money I get, I put into collectibles, because money, I'd rather have my health. But my bills are paid, so I take the extra and just spend it on, as Earl would say, well, we're not even going to go there. But I
collectibles, folks. They're collectibles.
Yeah, but Earl has another name.
Crap.
But some of this crap is $1,700 and $2,700 in price. Like Earl says, oh, you got to find the right person. Well, that's the right one.
The guy's got a Superman #1 comic book, if you know how much that's worth. Okay.
1939. Superman,
so anyway, Rodney, you mentioned that you're thinking about moving somewhere where you would be closer to a medical hospital that better understands your physical condition and such. Where are you thinking, and what kind of a time frame are you thinking about that move?
Well, first, there's two places. One would be Jacksonville, Florida. Well, actually, one would be Michigan area first, up in Lake Bronson, Minnesota. That was the first Mayo Clinic. If you know the Mayo Clinic, they're well known. They research stuff. They're up in Lake Bronson, the first one ever done. The second one they built is down in Jacksonville, Florida. And the last one, the only other one they just built now, is in Arizona. There are only 3 Mayo Clinics. Some people will say they're the Mayo Clinic. They're not. There's only 3 known. And I've even talked. I've been to the Mayo Clinic in Florida, and like earlier this year I called them because I was getting real bad, and they told me I could come see them anytime. It didn't matter how long it's been. And so I'm looking at, probably Florida or somewhere around Lake Bronson. Now, I don't want to live in Minnesota because it gets like minus
That'd
50.
be too damn cold.
Yeah, but it gets down to minus 50 and minus 60, and the thing with the RSD, the cold weather makes it worse. And I can't, put ice packs on me if I have a sprain or something. I can't put ice on it. Gotta put a warm pad, and that's it. And so,
right.
Yeah, the temperature is what I gotta look at too. That's why I'm looking at Florida.
Yeah, and you mentioned that one of the symptoms of the condition you have is that your body doesn't regulate your body temperature very well, and your extremities, because of poor circulation and all, you are sensitive to temperature changes. So yeah, I agree with you. Probably Florida would be a better choice than Minnesota.
Yeah, and it'd be Florida because they were second, and then Arizona just opened theirs up.
Yeah, Arizona is too damn hot, folks. You don't want to live in Arizona.
Florida can get hot too, because I was.
Yeah, but they got air conditioning.
And that's like here. I'd spend almost my time in the house anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we should cut this off, but I did want to give Rodney a chance to give you all a welcome and explain why he couldn't make it up to the reunion, and we'll make sure that the reunions are better publicized in the future, and people have more time to plan. And since this was our 40th year reunion, we're going to have the 45th in the summer of 2023. So mark that on your calendars. And because Owasso is really making a big deal out of this Cruising the Pits weekend, we'll try and have it that same weekend. So you'll know when it is. And is there any last minute things you want to say to the people, Rodney?
No, I'd appreciate it if if you can't call, at least just write off a little card or a note, because that doesn't take long to do. And I know people have busy schedules, have jobs and lives to live, and so I understand that. So even just a little card on something, just take you a couple of minutes. It's phone calls, if you get talking, you'll never get your work done, and then you'll blame me. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, on behalf of everybody in our class, Rodney, I'd like to thank you for your military service and, wish you well.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.